And welcome back to my channel. Unless it's your first time here, then it's nice to meet you. Today I'm going to be doing a study tips video. So I have 5 of my best study tips that I'm going to share with you guys because I know exam season coming up. I know it's stressful and I'm just gonna try my best to help you guys. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and also comment down below any other video ideas you'd like to see from me. And if you haven't subscribed already, also make sure to subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first tip that I have is actually to plan ahead. Planning ahead is so important because if you study just the day before your exam for like 14 hours, it's not going to give you the same results as if you studied for 1 hour each day for 2 weeks. So a good plan to do is to write in your day planner when your exam is, and then go back 2 weeks and write to start studying then. And then from then on, you can study 1 hour every single day, and that will allow you to like memorize things and understand things more without just cramming all at one time. For midterms, I actually only did a week before and that works really well, but since like exams are more content, it makes more sense to do them 2 weeks before and study an hour every single day. My second tip is actually to make a to-do list. When you make a to-do list, it allows you to just know what you have to do, what you have to get done, and it also makes you feel a little bit more accomplished when you can tick something off when you do it. Just because I've noticed when you do homework, you can feel accomplished when you finish it, but with studying, you don't really have an end point, so you just feel like you haven't really accomplished anything. But if you have a to-do list, then you'll feel like you've accomplished stuff, and it'll also keep you on track to see where you need to be. My third tip is actually to use a timer. This is really obvious and really good tip that I've learned is just like, you have to know yourself and you have to know how long your attention span is. I used to push myself and make myself study for an hour straight, but I realized at around 40 minutes my mind would start to wander and I wouldn't be able to pay attention as well. So I realized that I can study straight for 40 minutes, but then I need a 20-minute break to do something else. So definitely pay attention to what you like and what you need. Maybe you can do half an hour, maybe you can only do 20 minutes, maybe you can do a full hour. But just know how long you can go. It might take a little bit of trial and error, and then set a timer for that long and then take a couple minutes to do something else. So I always do 40-20 just because it adds up to an hour, so I'll know exactly what, like every single hour what I'll be doing. And on those 20 minutes, try not to go on your phone. You can check maybe if people texted you, but try not to scroll through Instagram or Twitter just because usually that's how I end up going over my 20 minutes. But if I do things like edit a video or clean my room, I won't go over the 20 minutes because I won't be getting so distracted. And also when you go on Instagram and Twitter, it kind of gets your mind off the productive train. I don't know. So I just feel like if you do something productive in the 20 minutes rather than just going on social media, it'll allow you to stay in that productive mindset and get back to studying when you need to study. My fourth tip is to use cue cards. These are my lifesavers, you guys. Like, this is something that I need you guys to do. Cue cards are my ride or die for studying. I make cue cards for almost everything besides math because that's kind of hard, but they're really great way to test your knowledge and understand and see if you actually know what you've been reading and writing rather than just reading something over and hoping that you remember it. And a little trick that I've noticed is that you actually have to say it out loud because sometimes your mind will trick itself and just think that you know the answer, but if you say it out loud, you'll realize if you actually know it or not. So definitely use cue cards to test yourself because it's a super good way of studying and I really recommend it. And number 5, my last and final tip is to self-test. This is amazing. When I study for calculus or linear algebra, I find that last year's tests help me more than just going over my notes. So sometimes your teachers are really nice and they'll actually give you last year's tests or exams so you can use those to practice on. Or sometimes they're not as nice and you kind of have to create your own test. So if you're lucky enough to have the test that your prof gave you, then I would definitely recommend doing that after you've tried to study so you can see what you really know and what you need to focus on a little bit more. And don't look at the answers right away, obviously. Pretend like it's an actual test, do the test, know what and learn what you need to learn more about. If your professor doesn't give you a test, something good is if you have a textbook, there's usually questions at the end of each chapter that you can follow, or maybe you know someone that's a year ahead of you that could give you their previous tests. So yeah, those are my 5 study tips. I definitely am not like the queen of studying. I get distracted, I get off task, but these are things that I just think really help me with studying, and as well help me with like my test scores. Obviously, you know, read over your notes and as much as you can, go over the slides that your prof gives you. Just use like all the resources that you possibly can, but don't overwhelm yourself. Just do the best you can do. Also, don't stay up too late. I don't recommend all-nighters at all. I've never pulled an all-nighter. I go to bed at like the latest midnight, so don't pull an all-nighter, please. And also just make sure to manage your time, use all your resources. That's all the advice I have for you guys. That's all I can do. I wish you guys the best of luck this exam season. If you guys have exams or with your culminating activities, just good luck. Don't stress too much if you can help it, and look forward to summer. Know that at the end of this, there's summer coming, and it'll just be awesome. Or maybe it's Christmas break if you're watching this in the future. So yeah, if you guys liked this video and you found these tips helpful, make sure to please give it a thumbs up. Also, comment down below any other video ideas you'd like to see from me. I think next year, like next school year, I'm gonna do something about report writing, because I'm in business and I've written a lot of reports. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, also make sure to subscribe. I post every single Thursday. And other than that, make sure to have a wonderful day and a beautiful life. Bye!